7 years ago, I was fortunate enough to purchase my own property. I had been saving for a decade, worked extremely hard, and was thrilled to finally have a place I could call my own. As a single person on the mortgage, I had to make compromises. One such compromise was buying a property on a shared block, which was a lot cheaper. In my experience, this usually means it's on a strata title. Some people see this as a bonus because it means there's a communal fund for repairs. Insurance is often cheaper because it's collective, and other things like maintenance are usually taken care of. Another thing about strata titles is that they often have a lot of bylaws and restrictions on what you can and can't do. I'm a pretty private and introverted person, so I wasn't keen on having to deal with people and having limits on how I live. I took my time and found the perfect property. It's a shared block with a freehold title. The only thing I had to pay for was public liability insurance for the shared walkway on the property, which was split equally between owners. The real estate agent is local to my area. There's also about 3 degrees of separation between us. He has friends who are friends with my friends, which was a nice connection. I didn't know him, but I knew of him, so that felt good too. About 5 months after I moved in, the owner of the property next door came by to talk about insurance. No problem. I asked for a copy of the policy so I have a record. I get the paperwork, and, lo and behold, it's for strata insurance. I was pretty confused at first, but after some back and forth, I found out that the property isn't a freehold title, but a strata title. I called my lawyer, who explained the title and so on. He was surprised but got over it, and did the right thing by making things right as best he could. I set up a meeting with the real estate agent. I brought emails and printouts of the ads that said it was freehold, emails between the real estate agent and my lawyer discussing its freehold status, and so on. Despite it all being in black and white, he refused to accept any fault or offer anything to make things right. I don't blame him for looking out for himself. I understand that. However, I wouldn't let it go. I did enter into mediation with the real estate agent. When the time came for me to sell, I just asked that they do it or cover the costs. I thought this was reasonable, but they refused outright and offered me $1,000 to go away, which I turned down. I had the option to sue them, and the mediator told me to do it, but I decided against it for a few reasons, mainly because of my health at the time. I thought about it, planned, plotted, schemed, and connived as to how to get back at this guy. And I decided on this course of action. I managed to find his personal Facebook page, which wasn't set to private. I saw some photos of a boys on tour trip he went on a few weeks prior, so about 5 to 6 months after I bought the property. I also managed to find his address through a business registration search. On the anniversary of the sale, for 6 years straight, I sent them flowers with a note. Dear real estate agent, I hope this message finds you well. I just wanted to send you a little reminder on this special day. She has your eyes. Love, L. The messages varied slightly over the years, but they always included, on this our special day, and some strange reference to a love child and a desire to reconnect. I also sent postcards and letters from time to time from another country he was touring. They were always signed, Love, L. I found out about 3 weeks ago that this guy had recently divorced, lost his home, and is no longer working as a real estate agent. It seems his wife found out he was cheating on her. I heard from a friend of a friend that he would get strange gifts and flowers every year on the same day. His wife finally figured it out and realized what the date was. He admitted to cheating on her. As it turns out, a year before I bought my house, he went on holiday and came back with an STD. He gave it to his wife but somehow convinced her that it wasn't him. So, our special day ended up being around the same time he'd been unprotected with someone other than his wife just a year earlier. He's lost his house, half his retirement savings, and also his business. I do feel a little guilty about all of it sometimes, but then I'm reminded that he's a scumbag and that karma is a patient, spiteful, and vengeful thing.